What's up? I don't know what's going on. I've been going through Hoyoverse brain rot lately. Playing a lot of Genshin. I started Star Rail again, which I already had progress on, but I had to start it over.
It's getting late.
But upon playing, I realized that I really liked Star Rail better than Genshin. Character designs are cooler. Music's cooler. Combat's really satisfying. I just quit playing it because all my friends quit playing it, so... Character designs are so cool. Okay, anyway, I need to check out my quest. Already seen all this, so I'm gonna skip past it, but... Okay. Watch out, baby. Get out of town.
Step aside. I have no interest in stoking.
Pretty good crowd today.
Told you I could fight.
Reach the end of the story in your own way. We need a strategy.
Alright, I got a strategy video. Oh, shit. Yikes, hold on a sec. Feels cool. Alright, let's see. Do I have Lycone? What is he? He's shit. She's erudition. I don't remember which one she... Preservation, it tells right there, cool. And it shows them as the first one, so that's cool. Quit. Enhance. My dude's playing video games, that's cool. Never noticed that. Alright, do I have any better destruction icons though? Do not.
Yo.
What's up, man?
Been playing Genshin all day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Are you done with the main story yet?
Oh no, I'm
Or the first chapter, sorry, not the main story.
I'm like about to be done with the prologue part 2, I think. Let's
Okay.
see.
Yeah, I think it goes up to part 3, I believe.
I just did the story where like I retrieved the harp or the
Yeah,
lyre.
okay, yeah. I think you'll have one more after that, and then you'll be good. If sorry, I was reading something. I'm playing Star Rail, their other game, because I had
Yeah,
like
I saw that.
it's so good, dude.
I'm on mobile, right? I think I've seen
They're
it
both on
mobile.
mobile, yeah. But this one is more fun to play on mobile. I mean, it's fun to play on PC as well. I like things looking as good as possible, and my phone can run it at 60 FPS, but it'll melt my battery. But
Yeah.
but this is one that I can play either way. Genshin I have to play on PC because it's real-time combat. This one's turn-based. But I forgot how much I like this game better to play by myself. Which, I mean, like, this one doesn't have any, as far as I know, it doesn't have any online capabilities. You can add friends, which is weird, but you can't, as far as I know, there's no dungeons. Yeah, there's no dungeons.
I feel like these are the kind of games where, like, if I don't like have someone to like not compete, but you know what I mean, like
keep track
like,
of, compare stuff to. Yeah.
My progression doesn't mean as much if it's just me doing the progress.
I want to say they might have a dungeon system on this because I didn't get very far. I got to like, so you know how you have your like adventure rank on a Genshin, you have like Star Blazer rank, and that mine was like 15 or something. But I'm kind of pissed. I lost all of my characters that I pulled. But I mean, they make it up to you, I guess. I don't know how I lost it because Alex lost his too. It's pretty fucked, but no big deal.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky with that event. Got a day. But like looking at it, like realistically, he's really good once you like awaken him, or not awaken him, but like we get like duplicate copies of him.
Yeah.
Like without that, he's good, but like that, like seriously, with those upgrades, it's insane. Like,
yeah. But to be fair, if you don't get him this time, he'll still be viable until the next time his rotation runs around.
And he'll come back in rotation, you know, and he's still good. Like I got his passive now, so if I fall below 60% HP, my next charge attack restores 30% HP. So he's basically, as long as you're not taking big hits, he has basically infinite survivability, which is really cool.
It's kind of
his E attack makes it so you deal like a lot more damage with your basics at the cost of HP per hit. So you're constantly losing HP for more damage. So you do your like 2 or 3 rotations, and then you just do a charge attack, and you're back to full HP, and then you just cycle back with that combo.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, that's kind of how my mage guy works, except for he has like no durability whatsoever. I feel like your guy has a lot more. Like he can take a hit or two. My guy will get fucked if he does.
If I'm not like using the little sacrifice HP for damage, he's pretty tanky. But once you start using that ability, I mean, I'm half HP in like a single 5-hit combo. It's pretty aggressive on HP.
Yeah.
But it's worth it because, like, I think it's like double damage or something.
The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant.
Skill attribute. Oh, it's more, yeah. So it's 143% more damage.
Gotta try hard sometimes.
Like, that's crazy. And it costs 4.5% HP per hit. So, and his combo is 5 hits. So every combo is 20% HP. So the passive procs is 60%. So you can do 2 5-hit combos, and then you do a charge hit, and you go from 60 to 90% HP. And then by that point, you're on cooldown, waiting for the ability to come back on.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. That's pretty. It's a good flow.
Yeah, I love. That's one thing I really like about this game about these games is that they let you trial characters before you try to pull them, and that's such a neat feature. Because when I played that dude, I was like, damn, he's fun.
I mean, yeah, I'm still new to the game in general, but him, Amber, and who else do I use it now? Let's see what's his name. It's a little genie girl.
Oh yeah. The little.
That's why I'm using her now, and they're all really great, honestly. I did get to try out that red dude with the 2H sword that we were looking at last night. I tried him out in the class, and he was actually really nice.
Was it?
Ultimate? His ultimate like applies fire elemental to all his attacks, so you always apply burning.
Yeah.
The truth of life and death.
And he has like a bunch of knockbacks. It's really nice.
Pretty good crowd today.
Oh my god, my game is so loud. Why does it not change the... I have it down to like 3.
Ready to lose yourself? You can fight it or rock with it.
I'm glad you're liking it though, because once you get out of that first one, I mean, I would, whenever you have side missions you want to do, I would definitely recommend getting out of that first area though, at least, and then
Yeah, well,
start
I mean,
playing
I'm still, like,
multiplayer.
unlocking, you know, like
Yeah.
I unlocked the little daily missions today, and then I unlocked the expeditions as well. Where you like send them out over time.
Yeah, yeah, those are good. Those are really good.
I got to push through all those and stuff to really get out there.
Try
But
hard sometimes. Watch this.
I'm actually enjoying the map.
Oh, dude, it's so it's so good. And then once you get
Like-
out of the first country you're in, it's so much better. Like no shade to the first area, it is cool, but it's like your typical fantasy area. Then you get to
Also,
like
the first area, right?
yeah, the very first in the game. Yeah,
Everything else would be
additional
better.
content. Yeah, the
Hopefully that's-
second area is more like a Chinese area, like an ancient China type, and it's so pretty, so fucking pretty. And the music is so good. And then you get to the next one. The one after that is like Japanese, like feudal Japan. And then after that, you get like floating islands. And then right now where I'm at is like there's like a snowy mountain area, really cool. You actually have to like keep yourself warm.
Yeah, I have an area in this first map where I have to deal with that crap, and it's just too hard still for me.
Yeah.
I actually I just hit level 15, so I can ascend my first time, so I did that. And I got the event dude to like level 35, so he's way more tanky, because the snow mountain area is like level 30, and that's, you know, I was capped at 20 till now, so I'm about to go back there and do some quests. But yeah, it's pretty good. Like, it's not like a super hard game so far, but some of the encounters have been sort of difficult.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like as hard as you make it. Like if you want to play, like, I love doing the whole, like, you know, mixing elements to do like, you know, like fire and electric does like the overshot or overcharge. I think like doing those combos is really fun. You don't need them really, but it is.
No, it's good to practice those strats right now because it gets way more complex. Like once that's like where we're at, you know, Alex and Andrew are dying. Well, Alex isn't. Alex is pretty pro at this game, but Andrew's dying a little bit because of simple mistakes like not having the right element at the right time. So it'll be really interesting whenever we all get, you know, to where we can do dungeons together, because then it'll be like we really have to like coordinate and like, you know, decide what role we're gonna play and like what elemental, like, you know, decisions we're gonna make.
Is 4-player like the max team
Yeah,
size? I guess?
yeah.
That would be cool then.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any raids or anything like that, but I wouldn't. They borrow from a lot of, like, you know, genres, so I would not. It would not floor me if they were like, okay, now multi teams.
Yeah, and if they're not yet, they will eventually.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Raids are just, I mean, for making content, like, you know, streaming and YouTube, people love watching that stuff. It's just, it's a lot. It doesn't make sense not to add them.
Yeah. 100%. I gotta say, I like the character designs a lot better on the one that I'm playing right now, Star Rail, because they're more futuristic, like not cyberpunk, but like just really high fantasy. Like, you know, in that one, everybody's dressed in like armor or cloth, you know, and like this
Yeah,
one.
that'd be my biggest complaint. Is like a lot of the male characters are just like wearing like light leather. Like, I don't think there's a single plate guy in the game.
Yeah.
that I've seen.
Yeah, they do need to have some like heavy voice.
But like, you go and watch any anime, and there's like very few animes where they.
Right.
This is what they look like in anime.
One of my favorite things about Fire Emblem is how varied the designs are, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
They're so like.
Even way back, like even like in the old games, the armors were.
Yeah, you'd have like your big boys, you'd have your small boys, you'd have your like, you know, you'd have like, and same thing with like the women. It's not just like boob armor and Fire Emblem. It's like you have heavy armor women, you have some like scantily clad women, but it's like because that's their personality. You know, they're trying to seduce the enemy, type.
Yeah, when I was learning isometric art style, that's what I was using as references, was like old Fire Emblem games.
Thanks.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Go ahead. You're saying when you were doing isometric, you were looking at old Fire Emblems.
Yeah,
Main event.
yeah, because like most of their, I think all their games are
Told ya I
isometric
could
pretty
fight.
much.
Yeah. All of them except for the newer
Maybe
ones.
not the-
The newer ones, you have an option to toggle between isometric or like you can control your player individually.
Yeah, and I've seen like people doing like 3D isometric perspectives, which I don't really understand. I guess it's just a fixed camera position to like mimic the idea of isometric, but like true isometric is like forced perspective. It's not even forced. It's a hard perspective. Like it doesn't change. But 3D would be like the illusion of it being isometric.
Right.
Because isometric, the whole idea is it was originally like an architectural drawing design for like blueprints and
Reach
stuff.
the end of the story in your own way.
Because no matter where you look at an object, you know, if it's far or close, it's always the same size. So it's useful for like understanding the scale of a building when you draw it on paper. So to have it in 3D, I don't get, but I think it'd be a cool challenge to try to do something like that.
I'm sure. I feel like I may have played some games that are like that, or at least
I'm
like.
sure I have. I just never thought about it. Like like now that I know what isometric is, like in terms of like 2D art, like how it works, the idea of translating that to 3D doesn't really make sense to me yet.
Yeah.
Because like in 2D, the square is not a square; it's more like a sideways diamond.
Yeah, that's the toughest part for me to understand. Is like, I mean, not understand, but to think of like in an art perspective is like having that.
Looks good.
Having that perspective in mind. And
yeah, you have to just kind
We
of
need a strategy.
shift your way of thinking when you're drawing things out. Like, I mean, really, all you're doing is you take your X and Y axis and you just double everything on the X axis. So
Move carefully.
So like, even in code, like
The truth
you know,
of
it's like
life
X2,
and death.
Y1
Revealed is
movement. So like you have to move ISO to move one isometric square, to move one Y and
Pretty
two
good crowd
X
today.
in whatever direction you're moving, always, because that is how you. That's how that perspective is reflected
Luck running
in
into me.
like 3D. I
Ready to
guess
lose
it's
yourself?
really weird. It is.
You can fight it.
And it's so crazy to me that was like. That was kind of like the step between full 3D and 2D. It was isometric.
Yeah.
Like it was, because it's not true 3D, but it's like it kind of gives the illusion of 3D. And I feel like it would have been easier just to go straight to 3D. Honestly, like it's such a crazy art style
Right.
that they were like, but this is somehow, when this is like, you know, the peak performance or whatever, like isometric was the solution. It was somehow easier than going to 3D. It's crazy. It's crazy.
What's insane to me is just like the process behind finding all this shit out, like how somebody, and for entertainment no less.
To like read about it 20 years later.
Yeah.
Like when they were discovering. I mean, like they weren't discovering it, but like I said, it's been used in architectural designs for a long time. But even then, like how would you go about that? You know, like, how would you discover that art style?
Yeah.
It is math. Though. I mean, it is just straight up math. Because you know, it's
Songs for
doing
you.
crazy things. For
Turn it up.
and I really do love isometric. It gives me some issues in 2D, and that's why I was saying the other day. Like I'm kind of leaning towards just doing everything in 3D from now on.
Yeah, don't blame me.
Because I think the art is what's gonna hold me back, like my desire to make my own art, and it's just slow in 2D because I'm not good at 2D as much as I want to be. It's like when I mean I'm getting better, but to do something in 2D that I actually don't hate, it takes me 10 times longer than it would have been 3D, which is just not really useful.
Yeah. Which I think there will be another hurdle whenever we decide to start learning about rigging. I feel like rigging's, I mean, it might be one of those things that's surprisingly easy. Yeah.
I've done animation already.
Like on a 3D?
Yeah, like the Blender. Yeah, I've done 3D animation. Yeah, I don't think it's hard personally.
Really?
I think it's more like it's as hard as you want to make it. Like, you know, if you're gonna go out and try to like animate like
It's getting late.
a horse
Where'd
with
you
like
know?
a really unique walk pattern and like multiple like four-legged animal, it's difficult because they don't walk like you would think they walk. Like, and it's also like how many bones you add to it. Like if you only have like one bone per arm, and like joint, I guess.
Yeah.
The more joints you add, the more flexible they become. But there is also that limit of, do humans really need 20 arm joints? Not really. So it's for me, it's not that bad. It's really just setting it up properly so that when you go to the animation side of it, all your structure is set up in a way that it makes the animations look like an actual creature, not like a robot or something.
Right.
It's the time spent setting it up that matters for an animation. Because if you make your model and then like you just give it like a really basic bone structure, it can't. The animation's gonna be basic. It doesn't matter how good your model looks if you don't know how to do like joints and bones or whatever. It won't work. But yeah, I had a little bit of a learning curve with it. I think the hardest part for me was understanding how like the bones actually operated, like how to think about that. Because like most times you have like a bone for the head, and then you have a separate bone for the neck, and then that connects to like an upper body joint for the chest, and then you have like a lower bone for the ribs, maybe. You know, you have all these layers, and
It's getting late.
depending on how you nest them, like so if I nest like one bone and another, the nested bone is gonna follow the parent bone. Like so, like say like I have like the forearm and then the bicep and then the hand, right? So you want to start with your bicep and then nest it into the forearm and then nest that with a hand, so that when the bicep moves forward, the whole arm moves with it.
Yeah, so you gotta find that. That would be another list of challenges, of seeing what goes with what.
That took me forever. Yeah.
Like having a
And
lead.
sometimes it's
There's
backwards. Yeah, it's because sometimes
Still there? Cut out for me.
It's getting late. Where to now?
my Discord has been crashing all day. I've never had Discord.
Yeah,
crash.
they just had an update, so I wonder if it has something to do with that. I haven't been having any issues, but
Yeah, I updated mine this morning when I hopped on my computer, and it's been like black screening a bunch, which I've never seen it do before. It just goes solid black, and then it like tries to reboot itself. And then after like a few times of that, it just started crashing on me, and it's been doing that all day long. Never had issues with Discord before till now.
I've had a few usually in between updates, but this time I haven't had any issues, so I don't know what it could be.
Some of these little blue orb things you gotta like find for the altars are kind of hard, honestly.
Yeah, those things suck dick. I hate them. Anemo. I just call them Anemos because that's like the name of the elemental stuff. But they're like Anemesis or something. I don't fucking know. Anyway, yeah, they suck.
It was cool though. I got to like another area that had like the Earth ones, and I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's Leeway. That's the next continent you'll be in.
Yeah, I started like working my way into there a little bit earlier, and I was like, these look a little different, and then all of a sudden, like my guy's like, I can change elements at will, like you know.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's gonna be like I don't know anything about him, but I'm assuming he's gonna be like they're called Adepti. I don't know if you follow the story at all, but he's
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, this isn't a spoiler. This is what I'm assuming it's gonna be. Because you remember at the beginning, you like come out of the fucking cosmos, ripped away from your sister. So I'm assuming you were probably like up there with the gods, but literally nobody talks about you yet. So I've met a few gods, and none of them recognize you. So
yeah, it's kind of a cool intro. Like I like the idea of like us being maybe like of a higher realm, and we're just kind of like thrust into like
exactly. That's how I thought it was too. Like maybe we're not of this universe, we're gods of like a different one. And then,
I know you don't play Final Fantasy games a lot, right? But
no, I do. I play Final Fantasy games, just not 14.
Okay.
I've played 7.
There was one called World of Final Fantasy. Did you ever play that one?
Is that the one that was like it's like
Chibi? But
yeah.
But you can also like go to normal styles, and
I
it's like
never played it though. To answer your question, no, I never played it.
The whole gimmick is you can swap between like a Chibi style look. That looks like I don't know, like Final Fantasy 4, 3, and 4 style graphics, but then you can also like change to like the normal looking human form, and you can also like capture monsters. Like, you know, you can like.
Yeah,
one
that's
person
what I was
can
gonna say.
get a
It's like a
behemoth.
Pokemon type thing.
Yeah, it's similar to Pokemon, but what was cool is you can then like. There's like small, medium, and large monsters. Like a behemoth, for example, is a large creature, right?
Mhm.
So a large creature can have
So?
medium creatures mount on top of the large
Oh,
one.
that's cool.
And then you can have a small one mount on that. So you can have like a triple stack of monsters, right? And then like when you're chibi form, you're considered medium, so you can then like mount large creatures, and then have like a small, yeah, I don't know, something on top of you. And you know, like depending on what stack you make, like different creatures like have different passives and everything. So like a behemoth is like fire based or something. So like if you have him as the base, all the other people get access to his abilities, and they can like, you know, there's all these crazy combos. It was a really cool game. But anyway, the reason I was bringing it up is because in that game, it's the same idea. Like your characters are like from this empty world that they don't really understand. They're just kind of like these divine beings or whatever.
Mhm.
And like straight up God just visits you, and she's like, hey, I need your help. I'm gonna send you these other worlds, and you end up like visiting all the other games from the past, and like you interfere with like past Final Fantasy games and help them out. But like you're straight up just gods coming in and out of different Final Fantasy games, helping them out, and it was such a cool concept.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's a fun game. It's like 20 or 30 bucks on the store.
I've seen it a lot. I just I always thought it was just like a silly little like, you know, like the
It's I mean, it's not like a serious game, I guess. It's a little kiddie, you know, like it's not as serious as like, you know, Final Fantasy 7 or something. But all the characters and stories are there. It
yeah,
kinda
they do a lot of those collaboration games. Like they have, you know, the Opera series, the Opera Omnia series.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. I've never played a game like it, honestly. I mean, it is like Pokemon in terms of like, you know, monster capturing, but then like it plays like Final Fantasy base,
Enemy targets detected.
you know, with like elements and summoning and all that.
Ready for
And you
another?
can also like recruit heroes. So like one of the first places you go to is like based around Final Fantasy 1.
Let's go.
And when you complete that area, you get
Mental support.
the option to summon the hero or the warrior of light.
No
Final
interest
Fantasy
in
1 is like a
conflict.
summon, which is pretty cool. And then
The truth of life and
I don't know,
death.
man. It's a cool game.
Revealed
It's
in
a
an
really
instant.
unique
Let's make it
concept.
quick.
I would. It's also like it's a pretty game too, like graphically. I know like the chibi style is for everyone. Like I said, that's just half the art style. Like all the Final Fantasy are chibi style. They're like small. They're called dwarves in that game. Everyone is, but you're like a normal human. So she gives like the god character, her name is like Eros in that game. She gives you the power to change shape into a chibi form to like not raise suspicion.
Enemy targets
Because
detected.
in that game, the Final Fantasy world is chibi, and your world is not. It's such a weird game.
Yeah, it's
It's
super
it's really weird, but it's
super funky.
it's really fun. It would be the last game I recommend someone to start out with for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but if you're familiar with the series, I'm sure it's like a
Yeah.
really
I
I really enjoyed
like
Opera
a-
Omnia. I used to play that
okay.
one a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games like if you haven't played the games, you won't understand why people like this game at all. It's not fun if you don't like Final Fantasy. Why am I locked out of changing character? Sometimes when I'm playing, like I can't swap to other characters. It just locks me out of it.
Sometimes
Okay.
sometimes it's due to like
Ready for another?
if you're in like a certain mission area, like if there's a certain mission you're doing. Sometimes
Data
it's
secure. Net markers activated. Time for
sometimes it
another.
can be like doing a certain action. Like I don't think you can change while you're sprinting. You can't change while you're jumping. I know.
Yeah, I know you can't do it like during animations and stuff, but sometimes I'm just like sitting here spamming my keys and it's like you can't do it, you're busy. I'm like, no,
I'm not. I want to change.
I'm just sitting here waiting for this stupid
Enemy
freaking
data
air
net
element.
markers activated. Time for a good old counter.
Speaking of air, what beats air in this game? I can't figure it out. Is it lightning maybe?
I think so. I think lightning is like the best for it. Maybe ground.
Oh yeah, maybe ground. I don't use ground much.
Yeah, ground. I didn't get my first ground character until the second chapter came out.
My character is ground based right now, but his ground ability kinda sucks, honestly.
Yeah, that's the tough part too. Is that like a lot of them you have to like they don't have good elemental abilities. They just happen to be that element, you know.
Yeah, of that
Told
type.
ya I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
fight.
Well, his ability is kind of cool, I guess.
Let's make
Like
it quick.
it summons on like a big boulder on the ground, and it deals damage if you can manage to actually hit the stupid thing. But what's nice about it is after you summon it, it like persists, and you can use it to climb on
No
and like
interest in conflict.
get like a jump attack, you know, like, a little easier. So it is
Told
kind
ya
of
I
useful,
could
I
fight.
guess. But not in the way like it's not very useful in combat. It's more of like a utility skill.
Yeah.
For, like creating gaps. Recommended party level 35.
Gotta do it, man.
That's a, another one. This one's
The
level
truth
18.
of life and
Okay,
death.
whatever.
Through the sanctuary is but a vision.
Yeah, it's a cool game. I'm probably. I bought the little $5 thing.
Too late.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a bad purchase at all.
Yeah, for like considering you get $60 worth of pulls for $5 over the
Gotta
month,
try
that's
hard
not bad.
sometimes. Watch this.
You get almost 30 pulls from that $5.
Yeah, from a little 5. Yeah, no, I don't think it's.
Or
worth
no,
it.
wait, I'm sorry, it's 20. It's 20.
Yeah, if it's available for me, I'll definitely buy it. I haven't.
Yeah, it's in the store. It's like a permanent option. It was just like showed to me as like the highlight because I'm new.
Yeah.
But it's like their little sub thing.
My turn.
It's not that. I would never. I don't think I would ever spend $30 on.
No, none of those, like none of the things in just base Genshin made me wanna spend money.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think it's a bad thing to spend money on a game that's free.
no, there's
I encourage it generally. Like if
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
play a game that's free,
if there's one I like, I'll spend money on it in the
yeah,
drop of a hat.
and like $5 is. So you're paying $5 for $60 worth of gems, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like that. It's that, and it works. I know it works on people. Like you have to wait a whole month to get the full effect out of it,
Mhm.
and most people can't wait the month. They'll start it, and then they're like, man, if I just bought a couple more, I'd be able to do it right now, and it escalates a lot of times. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about not caring about the rushing thing.
I don't care about
Because
Russians
most
either.
people like this is one of those
Sorry.
this is definitely one of those games where like it's like a it's an endurance thing. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not a
100%. Yeah, it's not like you get anything for being first to something. The only time that would ever be what, Dahlia?
I'm just gonna do this.
Dahlia, it's 11 o'clock. You need to get ready to go to bed, okay? But go ahead, tell me what you're saying. What's up?
So I did this because I wanted to do it. So I'll show you when I find the page.
Okay, well, you
With
need
the
to hurry.
With the carrot.
You made a carrot?
And I'll show you.
Yeah, the only thing you really have to be ready for is like events, and if you didn't start late in the game, that's a really interesting carrot. If you didn't start late in the game, then you're good. It doesn't really matter. You can just do the events.
Yeah, I'm trying to get level
was doing
20
the
for
math
the season
test.
pass. Because that is level locked, and I'm almost 16 now, so I need level 20 to
Awesome.
even see what the season
Yeah,
pass
this
is.
is what I did. That's what I did.
It gives gems. I don't actually pay attention to it. I'm the type that unless I get the complete battle pass of something, I will not buy it. Even in the game I'll say I spend money on, because I do spend money. I really like the way their battle
What do you
pass is
mean?
set up. Like
You don't.
until I max out the battle pass. Like you know,
Like you're gonna. Yeah. I hate the ones that are like, oh, but if you buy it now, you get like quicker progression.
yeah, like you
But
get
of
10
course,
levels.
like, again, like it's a business, and I understand why
Yeah.
they do that.
The-
But again, like it's also a free to play game, so I don't mind it having battle passes. That's where it should be.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, not. I think games that you pay for should just have an unlocked battle pass.
I think if the game costs like $60 to start off with, as long as like future expansions don't cost money, I'm okay with buying battle passes.
That's true. Yeah.
Because that should then be like what funds future free expansion content.
Yeah.
A good example of that not happening is Diablo 4. They just
Yeah, I
announced
heard
recently-
Diablo 4 was really bad.
I played it. I played the
And
beta.
it looked
and I
so
liked it.
good to me. But I was told by all my friends.
It played like okay. Like graphically, it's amazing. Honestly, gameplay wise, it's super slow and it does not feel fun. That's the problem. Is everything feels like a chore in that game.
Fighting is
Like
meaningless.
compared to Diablo 3, at least, it feels like the slowest paced game in the entire world. It's a shame, honestly, because I was so excited for that game. It was something I was really looking forward to, and now I haven't touched it since release.
Yeah,
I didn't have fun. It's
Too late to repent.
I was trying. Like, I'm not one of those players who like comes to a game even though they may have bad reviews. I'll give it a chance. You know,
Yeah.
maybe it's just, you know,
The truth of
hype, you
life
know, the
and
internet
death, revealed in
dumbness.
an instant.
But no, Diablo is legitimately just not fun right now. It's just not great.
Yeah.
But the problem with me is the game cost $60, and then they had like seasons on Diablo,
Mhm.
and like every season is like a reset. So like when the season starts, you start back at level 1, and then they have like unique mechanics that are involved in that season. So like it might be unique enemy types that drop unique, you know, modifiers for new weapons, stuff like that. But it's always a reset. And the problem with Diablo 4 initially was leveling up is hard. Like compared to Diablo 3, where I could level up to max level in a day, I've yet to max a Diablo 4 character ever. It's that slow of a process. It is incredibly punishing to level up.
Yeah.
So like when you have to reset on Diablo 3 for a season, you spend a single day of the 3-month season doing that process. Whereas on Diablo 4, the entire process is just re-leveling the line during the entire, like it takes the entire season. And even then, you may not get to max level. So like, and again, like that's kind of one of the main parts of Diablo is, you know, the leveling and gear progression. So it didn't feel satisfying to level in that game because it was so slow and punishing. But then they were like, okay, you're paying $60 for the game, but you also have to spend $20 for the battle pass, and they're gonna be every 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Like, you know, you buy the game once, and now we're gonna be, you know, we buy a battle pass every season, and that was fine with me. Like, whatever, that's normal. Now it is. But then they're like, okay, 3 months after release, sorry guys, but the first expansion and every other expansion from now on is going to actually cost you $60. Like, full price game expansions, on top of Battle Pass, on top of a cosmetic store, on top of the actual base game being $60 as well. So
Yeah.
it's just...
Yeah, they're just like squeezing for as much as they could. That's insane.
They're like quadruple dipping into the wallet. Like,
yeah, that's actually insane.
it's insane. And like, and the problem is a lot of players are fine with it. You know, like I'm not telling anyone how to spend money on a game, but like personally, I don't recommend spending money on a game that asks me to spend 5 different ways every month. You know, that's just crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fuck. Yeah, no, that's insane.
And again, it's such a shame for me because I was super excited for that game.
Yeah.
The story was phenomenal. Like it was a
It
great story.
looked amazing, like from just the looks
Yeah,
of it.
graphically.
Yeah, that was
It looks
all the other Diablos look a
super
little
good.
weird to me, but I mean they are old games in their
Diablo 3
defense.
came out in like 20.
Yeah, and it's
pretty
still
old now.
yeah, and I remember playing it like 2020, like and like people were still like the people who
it's
played
still,
it
it's
loved
actually
it.
it might be more popular now than 4 even. Like it's still super popular.
Yeah.
And they did a cool thing. Like Diablo 3 has always been like online only because of seasons. Like 'cause it's a, you know, it's a leaderboard based competition.
Yeah.
So the last season that they did,
Don't mess with me.
they added a single player mode that's permanent, so that, you know, if they ever do quit doing seasons on Diablo 3, which, you know, they will, now we can always play single player, like without being online or anything now. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, which is kind of interesting because, you know, like, of course you should be able to play offline, right? But for the past decade, it hasn't been possible because it's a season-based game. So they went back and reconfigured everything to be a single-player-based game once they decide to drop support for it. So I think that's a really good thing to do, honestly. I will give them credit there. That's the right thing to do.
Among the sea of butterflies.
But
Illusions of
again,
the
like,
past. Lesson incited.
that's for the game that's a decade old and they're not making money on it anymore.
Right.
You know, it's not the new game that's supposed to be the shiny new toy that you play with for the next 10 years. It's the old game.
Right.
So it's just disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, I asked some of my friends that played it, and they were like, "Don't get it," because like I'm not really into I don't know why. I like that and like Borderlands.
The story is super good, dude.
I like roguelikes, right? But those, you know, the like RPGs mixed with roguelikes, I don't really fuck. Like
I
I don't.
played Diablo for hardcore, is what I play it for.
Now the hardcore I was interested in. That was a very fun mode.
I can't play softcore anymore. Like on Diablo, once I started hardcore mode, like having that looming fear of making mistakes
Yeah,
actually matters is what makes Diablo so fun to me.
Yeah.
Diablo 4 did it okay. Diablo 4 kind of messed up with it though, because like
So you are afraid of
one
me.
of the end-game sections is PvP based, like a PvP open area where like, you know, it's just
I'll
open
free
world
you from your
PvP.
disappear among the sea
And
of
for whatever reason,
fireflies.
they decided to make the
Illusions of the
hardcore
past.
permadeath there as well. Even though you kind of need to do that stuff, so, like you're risking a character where you have to, you know, you might have to kill 100 players in a row without dying to get a reward.
Yeah.
After. Which in Diablo 3 you had PvP, but it was purely just for like whose build is stronger. You know, that was literally it. And it wasn't permanent either. It was just fun. But now they made hardcore, and now they made PvP like not necessary, but there's some pretty good stuff locked behind it. And to do it on hardcore is 100% never gonna happen realistically, because you know people are just too good. Like you get, you know, most hardcore, most PvP battles in Diablo are 3 seconds long. You know, it's whoever sees who's first is the winner.
Too late to repent.
Who's next?
Fighting is meaningless.
What a headache. Specimen sighted. Don't mess with me.
Jesus Christ. I would love to do like a.
Too late to repent.
Obviously, it's not in the scope of my skill at any point or at any point in the immediate future. But I would love to have like a free-to-play gacha game that's like a full-on like. I mean, Genshin's accomplished a lot, dude. I'm so like perplexed by like how in the right direction they went with most of their decisions. You know, like.
Next.
You know, having a free-to-play game, introducing all these features that, you know, basically give you the freedom to play any type of game you want after the first chapter is insane to me. You know, like they have the TCG, they have the house building thing, they have, you know, like you can play it as an explorative game or you can play it as like a, you know, little anime game. It doesn't matter. That's really neat. Did you die on me again? Oh yeah, I guess so.
Man, Discord is seriously buggy for me right now.
Yeah, I was like talking about how impressive Genshin is as like a product. Like, you know, they put this game out as a free gacha game and it's just made strides since, you know, like where they've accomplished a lot of impressive stuff, like implementing all kinds of experimental features, and really like making it a game for anybody. You know, like they have the house customization, which is what brought me back. They have like, you know, they have their dungeon crawling aspect. They have their open world exploration. You know, it's a gacha for people who have gambling problems. It's a
Yeah, I love gambling. You know, it's my favorite part, honestly.
they also, you know, it's just really impressive how far.
It's super. I mean, that's what MMOs are meant to be. They used
But that's
to
the
be
thing
like
is
that all
that's the thing is it doesn't even play like an MMO. You know, like it's.
Well, I think it plays like a modern MMO, but a lot of modern MMOs are so hit or miss now. Like most MMOs that come out nowadays are like, you know, really cheap clones of like other MMOs from like the Chinese market. Unfortunately, I know it sounds annoying, but that's usually what it is.
I mean, I don't think I mean, that's not racist or anything. Dude. That's just the fact that there's
there's
a lot of Chinese companies that are trying to cash in on the gaming
and some
market.
of them are great. You know, like I mean, it's not China. The Korean
The
market
Korean market
is
makes
better.
amazing looking games and sometimes amazing playing
Like,
games, but
Black
there's no
Desert
story.
is still one of my Black Desert has done a good job of getting the story to
It
make
won't be
sense
so
finally
easy next
when they got
time.
like better translators involved.
Yeah, that's usually the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, it's localization is the problem for most Korean games because they don't care about localization at first because all they care about is the gameplay and the experience, right? Black Desert, as an MMO, like what you're talking about, like the ability to do whatever you want, is maybe second to none. It is super good.
I've wanted to get into it. I just don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, that's the problem. It is free to play, and like I think if
No. You still have to pay $10 for it. It's just after the $10
Oh, yeah.
it's free to play. Yeah.
yeah, the base
Or
game
it
is
might be
$10.
20. It might be 20. Hold on.
No, it's $10 for the base game, but they also give it away for free a lot. If you like go to their Twitch page, a lot of times they just give away the game.
Oh,
They
really?
just straight up give away codes all the time, yeah. But I think, like if you were gonna buy like the quality of life items you would actually want to make your gameplay better, you know, like I wouldn't say it's pay to win, it's pay for quality of life features. So, like one of them, for example, is you have like a tent you can build in the game, and like you're able to like rest there and like get your HP back, and like you can repair your weapons and tools at the camp, right?
You won't get away.
Well, normally you have to like gather supplies to build that tent, and the tent will then last for like 24 hours. We have to like, you know, redo the supplies. Supply gathering is more or less AFK. Like you just have like a worker network where they gather for you while you're offline. Super easy. It's not hard to do. But if you really want to, you have the option to buy one that is permanent from the store, right? So instead of having to like redo the craft every day, you just buy a permanent one from the store. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make the game any different. It just takes away some of the, you know, the extra step. And so like that's one of the few things people actually do buy is that, just because it's convenient. Other than, oh my god, freaking Discord.
No, you're still here. I can hear you.
I saw it turn black.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you and then I saw you left and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to like reinstall it probably.
Yeah, that's
if
crazy.
you want to try it out, I'd absolutely be down to try it out with you, because it is a super fun game.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those games where like, and I hate it that it's like this, but it's really hard to get into without someone there beside you helping you, because that game is enormous.
Yeah, and
like,
Alex plays it too, so.
Like Genshin, great user experience for new players so far. It's really good about explaining everything with in-game tutorials, you know. Black Desert has in-game tutorials, and they've gotten better about it for like much better about it over the years. But still, like, it's just because there's so much content in that game.
Yeah.
Like one example that I've been getting into recently when I last played it was the worker network. So like when you visit a city in Black Desert, you have what's called contribution points, and so you earn contribution points from like meeting new NPCs. Like so, like if you meet an NPC for the first time, you like register them in your lore book, and then like by knowing them, you may learn some new information about the world, and then that gives you contribution points. Right? It's kind of like the knowledge of the game. And what you can do with those points is invest them into cities. So like, if I like a city a lot, I can invest some contribution into it and like buy a house there or build a workshop. And then I can hire NPC workers to do like tasks in the city for me. And like usually it's
Black Desert does this?
Yes, yeah, it's like it's a huge system. And so usually what you do is you'll hire like 10 workers. You'll build like a house, like a barrack, or like a worker's house for all the workers to stay in, and then you have to like make sure they have enough like food and water to work properly. And then like you'll send them out to like a nearby farm to gather. For example, my dudes are gathering potatoes right now, and I can use those potatoes to craft some beer, and then I use that beer to then feed those workers. It's like right now what I've got set up is my workers will self-supply all their like food requirements on their own, because they make enough potatoes, you know, like make a starch or whatever to make beer. But then eventually you have to like go out and do like, you know, mining and fishing and all this other crazy stuff, and you can like connect all these cities and nodes with these contribution points. So like if I have a city and like I connect every node between that city and another one, well then I can have workers transport goods between those cities to like different banks. And eventually what you do with all that is there is a sailing skill where you can like build your own ship, and it is insanely cool. Like you start off with like a little tiny baby ship, and you can like slowly get better ships over time, and you can eventually get into like trading on the ocean.
Yeah.
So you'll like have all these workers like, you know, gather whatever type of resource you might want. Then you take it, then you have it all transport to a port city, and then you have all the workers load that up into a boat, and then you, the player, will go and get your boat, and you'll take it to a faraway port and sell it for a markup, because it's now a foreign good from far away. The further you go with your goods, the more expensive they are on the market because it's a foreign item, right?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that's
It's
that's a pretty fleshed out system. I like that.
and again, this system, you don't ever have to touch it. But if you want to, you can. And it is like a crazy money maker, one of the best in the game, totally optional. Not even necessary to play the game.
I mean, that's what I hear. I mean, that's kind of how some of that's what I hear about crafting in Final Fantasy 14. It's that like it's not necessary to touch it, but you can make some serious money if you get into it. It's like the best way to. I've heard it's the best way to make money.
It is, yeah. It's pretty much the only way to make money, honestly. Like, you get some money from like doing dungeons and stuff, right? But it's like pennies.
Yeah.
If you want to make money on Final Fantasy, you gotta grind, or
Move carefully.
I guess raid if you're good enough.
Yeah.
Like I can raid no problem. Like I've been playing MMOs for years, so I'm pretty good at them. But then like like Cynthia's new to MMOs in general.
Mm-hmm.
So like she struggles with like normal dungeons, which are like 4-player stuff. So like
is it the role part she doesn't really like get?
It's just the actual concept of like, because in Final Fantasy, like my tank, for example, has 3 action bars, and each of those action bars has like 10 abilities, and I use all 30 abilities to make it play properly. It's pretty. I mean, like, I think I have about 30 abilities. I cycle through about 10 of those actively, and then the other 20 are like situational things, because the taking thing, like, it might be like, pop this ability to reduce magic damage for 10 seconds, right? So it's like situational, whereas DPS is generally like, rotation based, where it's like, you just copy this rotation all the time, constantly over and over. And the better you do it, the more DPS you do. And then healers and tanks are situational based, so like, the tank doesn't want to just pop all his defensive abilities right away. You want to save them for when the boss does a big hit, so you don't die from that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just have so many abilities that can like do that role. And she's used to playing like Zelda, which is like
you're a single man doing a single thing.
Yeah. So it's for her. It's frustrating to watch her play sometimes because like I'm like just do better. But then I'm like, well,
she's not been playing it as long as you.
Because it's hard. Yeah, it's hard, honestly. Like, because like in the raids, you have these 30 abilities that you're constantly rotating through, and for me, it's like muscle memory. I don't even think about it.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're also dealing with like 4, 5, 6 different AOE's on the ground. All these situational spec attacks from bosses and ads and. You're also like, if you're a healer, you have to deal with like the HP.
Yeah, you gotta watch the gauges.
Aggro. There's just so many things going on at once that it is hard to do raiding in most MMOs because it's just so much. It's not complex systems, but it's just a lot of different systems layered on top of each other. And Final Fantasy is probably, in my opinion, like the game that does it best. Like they have the best form of raiding at endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Black Desert is one of those games where it's kind of more like
Here already?
it's a little grindier. It's way grindier. It's like a grindy game, but it's grindy in a way that's satisfying because most of it's like just go out and kill some fun stuff. Like the combat is the focus of that game.
Yeah, I've heard the combat in that game is excellent.
Yeah, because it's like combo based. So like I don't know, like my wizard I main as a wizard on Black Desert because I think it's a fun class, but all classes are viable now. Like they've balanced them pretty much perfectly.
There
finally,
seems to be the sound of
where everything is worth playing. But like, my opener is like my combo is S and E at the same time, and then it's WF, and then it's S my left click on the mouse, so S left click, and then it's like I think it's W forward, like W left click. It's like all these different combos, like combination keys, attacks. And depending on how you activate them in which order, they like buff each other. It's crazy, honestly. But yeah, like the game is either you combat or you do life skills. There's like trading, there's horse taming, fishing.
Just one.
I don't know. There's like cooking. There's a ton of stuff you can do in that game. It's really good. It's just a lot. It doesn't do.
Yeah. I was about to say I've heard that the big thing is it's like if you go in not knowing anything, you're gonna be confused. Yeah.
As I said, like if you start it by yourself, it's probably gonna make you want to quit, which is why I think you should. I would love to take you through the intro and explain things at some point because it's one of those games where I started like 10 times and quit constantly because I just was trying to play it on my own on Xbox by myself. And first of all, the Xbox experience is garbage, or the console experience in general for Black Desert is really bad because
Is it just
it's
console UI kind of sucks? Because I've
yeah,
heard that
well,
about a
it's
lot of
because like
MMOs.
you don't have a keyboard, right?
Yeah.
And the combat system is based around keyboard combo inputs. So like you go from this really satisfying complex combat system that like feels fun. Like it's complicated at first, but it's satisfying once you get like your combos down to just spamming X or Y. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just basic normal combat on console. But not just that, but like all the UIs are dumbed down to fit on a console, and
Right.
a lot of the combos don't even exist on console because there's not enough keys to like fit them all onto the controller. So they just got rid of them in general. They just literally got rid of them, which is crazy. But it's still fine on console. Like I finally did get into it.
Okay, everyone.
And when I got into it on console, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna play this game for real, I should probably play it on PC. Like, I don't want to put money into the console version because it's not as active.
Is it not? I guess not cross servers.
Yeah, it's not cross server. Yeah, sadly, it's one of the few that isn't.
Give me one second. I
anymore.
gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I think it's one of the games that's worth checking out at some point.
Yeah, I definitely have planned on playing it strictly for the barbarian girl.
Oh
She's-
yeah, I was gonna make her last season. I might make her this season, honestly.
Yeah, she's fine as hell.
Um,
It's the type of woman I imagine killing me.
Every single character in that game looks great, you know.
Yeah, no. I mean, that is
My
like the
biggest
one thing
issue
that
is
characters.
like I mean it's normal for Korean MMOs, but it's like gender lock classes. But
Yeah,
it's
that
also
is
because,
weird.
like, it's also because like in Black Desert at least, like the character you're playing is a particular person in the game. Like it's not just your character, it's a actual
Yeah, it's just weird to give them customized options if you're not gonna let them.
yeah, it's just like well like for example Valkyrie in that game all Valkyries are female. Like that's pretty standard for most Valkyrie lores.
Mhm.
So you have to play to play Valkyrie, you got to play as a girl, right? Because the Valkyrie hero that you're playing in Black Desert is a woman in that world. And like there's like but then like they also have like the wizard is male. Then they have a a witch, which is basically the female wizard class. So they a lot of times they have like a vice, and they have like a, if they have one, they have the other in like some way or another. They try to mimic it on the other gender.
The Astral Express.
Like there's like an archer, and then there's a ranger. You know, one's male, one's female, and sometimes they're really similar to the point where like you can't even tell the difference. And then sometimes like archer and ranger, they're totally different. It's the same theme,
My body.
but playstyle wise, they're totally different classes, which is, I think is cool,
I've done
honestly,
stuff like that before.
because it gives you like another way of playing
But
like a bow
it
and
wasn't
arrow character
stars
if
for
you
me,
want to
though.
have a
It
different
was
style
lights.
of bow and arrow play.
Mhm.
When I first woke up after being rescued from the ice,
I love the game
could see
personally,
clusters
but
of
it is
stars in
grindy.
front of
But it's
me.
also one of those games
I
that's
reached
pretty
out for them
unique where like
automatically, but they turned
like
out
if you're
the whole crew
fishing,
was
you can like
watching.
set your guy to fish and then like minimize the game to tray and just let it fish all night,
Like I
and
was
he
so-
won't
you
log
might not
out. He'll
believe
just sit
it,
there and
but
fish
Himeko
AFK all night long
and
for you,
Mr.
and you can hop back on in the morning, sell
I
your
don't
loot to the
remember
market,
who
and
I
then
am.
be
Ever
about your
since
day.
then, I've been
It's
That's,
one of
hanging out
those
on
that's
kind
pretty
of
interesting to let you do
following
something
to
like that
whatever
without
destination
having
it
like
was at. What am I talking
what
about?
are they
this
called?
for? A
it's
way
like
to
built
get
into the
everyone
game.
down.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
usually games have,
most
like,
of
a
them,
logout
yeah, they'll
player.
log you out, yeah.
Yeah,
Fine.
they actually
I
have
was-
like an option when you're gonna log out. There's another
Here
option that
comes
says
the
minimize the
conductor.
tree.
Express has reached a
And that way,
strategic
like, so like
point.
Black Desert's pretty intense on the
Well,
GPU.
that's just
Yeah.
called never-
When I minimize the
Conductor,
tray,
can I
it's
get
like
a juice,
5% of what it
Thank you.
costs normally to run to minimize it, so it's almost
But I'm
not there
thirsty
when I
now.
minimize in the background. So like when I was playing it actively, which I'm downloading it again now because talking about makes me want to play it, but well, a lot of times what I'd do is I'd be done with the day, I'd be done for it with the day. So I would just go to the fishing area, set up a fish, and then minimize the tray, and just forget about it for like, you know, 8 hours, and then come back later and see what's going on. Because like, it's one of those games where like you have like a weight capacity on your character, like he has like a carrying capacity, and then like your inventory has like a set size,
Mhm.
like you have like a set, like a limit. You can upgrade it and stuff, but so like if you're fishing, you have the option to like discard like green quality, blue quality by default if you want to.
Uh-huh.
So depending on what you're discarding, it
Looks
might
like
not
this
fill up your
trailblazing
inventory for a
expedition
whole
won't be
day,
easy.
or it may fill up in an hour. You know, it just depends on how you set it up. So
Star Rail's
you can set your
schedule
intensity of
alteration.
AFK
7-day
to
stop
how you
overtime,
prefer it,
extended
or you can play it
indefinitely.
actively. So if you're fishing AFK, it's incredibly slow, like a bite every 3 minutes. Actively though, it's like a bite every 30 seconds. It's like 10 times faster,
Take an ordinary
literally,
trip.
and
The
it's
only sensible.
If we
10
try
times
to
more
afford us
profitable,
again,
but it's not AFK,
don't
right?
tell
So
me. It's gotta be.
it gives you that option, which is pretty cool, I think. You know, like RuneScape, for example, you
results
log
of
out
the
of the game in
preliminary
5 minutes
analysis
of
are
AFK.
here.
It
The
discourages that type of
anomaly stems
gameplay.
from
Whereas Black Desert literally leans into it and says, we prefer this because it's healthier for an adult to be
Yes,
able to like put your game
just
away
like the
and
one that's been
still
placed in
make
the body.
progress. You know, if you want to
Yeah.
make progress and you have a job, this is how you do it now.
Don't worry.
That is pretty
It's
cool.
not the first time
Horse
Stellarons
training,
are
you can like set a path on your map,
The
like 2
only thing we
waypoints,
can say for
and your
sure
dude will
is
just run
that
the horse
their
back and forth
arrival
all night.
causes
Like
massive
it's
changes
crazy.
to
It's pretty cool though.
civilizations and
Did you
It
ever?
sounds really dumb.
No, I
It-
think
it-
that's good quality of life.
Is that Stellarons
Did you
are
did
it's
you ever
like-
play
the
New
game's
World?
all-
disaster, planted by
Yeah, I
a
did
certain
a little
neon
bit.
for
I
the
didn't
universe.
love it.
Yeah,
I
it
did
was
try.
it
Trailblazers
was
without
interesting,
removing the sword.
and then I got
I think it was
bored
trying to
very
be
quickly.
Black Desert. Honestly, it was
Yep.
trying to compete with that type of that. It was looking for those players to come over there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh,
I'd
it's
like to
crashing.
entrust this
Oh, no.
trailblazing expedition. The objective is
Well, maybe
clear.
not.
Wait, what's crashing?
We get to work
Oh,
in the
Discord.
kitchen
Discord
again.
it's turned black now. I can't interact with it.
I can hear you for now.
That's crazy. I don't know what's up with
Hey,
it.
that's not the.
Like I said, it updated this
I
morning
know
for me.
you really
But I've never
want
had
to
an
go,
issue
but
this bad
We
with
should give the
Discord.
youngsters a chance to get out there and march.
I
He's
have, but usually,
probably
like I said,
already
it-
started collating the
have you-
ecological
I did
data
on
and survey
Linux, but
results
I'm
for
on
your
Windows right
VO6.
now.
It's always good to know more about the destination before you start.
Ooh, kill him. No.
Alright, let me like see if I can like repair the files or something. I don't see an option to like verify integrity. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I was.
Are you doing okay?
Oh, you're right, I just
Dizziness
want to make sure it
or
wasn't breaking.
I went through the. He said, if I had to. And even after, I assume. I see.
Yeah, Black Desert's like 60 gigabytes right now. It's not the biggest game, and it's not like Genshin where it's under 50 gigabytes at least.
Did you talk to Don?
But oh, there is a
We're
Halloween
here for
event
the
though.
lab.
Oh
Well,
man.
are you ready?
Okay. Now's the time to
When
do
I
it, man.
first
If you
saw
want to
this
try it,
The ice that trapped me was 6-phase
I will.
ice, a very rare
I will get you the base
substance.
edition for $10
I don't think
if
you
you
can
actually want
find
to
it
try
on your
it.
average
Nah,
planet.
bro, I don't like it when people spend money on me playing a game because then I feel bad if I don't like it.
This is $10.
I'll
To be
get it.
honest,
I'll get it next time.
I'd
Well,
be kind of
I'll think
annoyed
about
if I
getting it.
found out this.
I definitely want to try it out, but don't I have to pay for the barbarian character?
What?
No, all
No?
characters are free.
Is there something
Oh,
on my
shit.
There's no
face?
like.
Nah.
Thought there were like character
Um,
packs or something.
Imagining all the fun
The
we're
only thing you have
gonna
to buy.
here.
So like,
I feel
there
sorry
are some
for
like
this world.
subscription services to make your
First
life
the Stellar
easier
Rod.
because it's free to play.
Just like
right?
ESO
More
with like the
Yeah,
craft
you-
bag and stuff.
Yeah, it's like there's like one that gives you like a
Alright,
bigger weight
here
capacity,
comes the Urano 6
stuff like
Trailblaze
that.
team.
But the only thing you'd ever have to buy would be like character slots if you ever wanted more characters for whatever reason.
Hmm.
I think you start off with like 7 or 8.
Oh
so there's
yeah,
only-
I'd never want more than that. Jesus Christ.
Well, like it is one of
I
those games where like
wouldn't.
alt are kind of like you don't have to ever make an alt, but like sometimes it makes
Maybe
sense
there's
to just
6.
because like when you beat a season,
It
like
really
there's like a
is one big
seasonal server
snowball.
thing, and so when you complete the season, you can like copy your
Hey,
character's
get your
stats
own
and level
snow
to
is-
another class for
Then
free,
what are we waiting
and just
for?
like have
Let's
a like
go.
so if you get to like level 60 during the season, and you're done. I can then that's like say you play as like the
Unless
warrior
you-
girl. I
I
can't remember her
said
name now.
drop.
Remember,
But say you play as her, right?
Calm
Her
down.
name's
I
the
mean,
defender.
come on. So if people
When you're
start-
done with her for the season, like you beat your season objectives, you can just say, okay, well, I'm gonna copy her level and stats to the archer, and he'll be level 60 right away. And like he'll have everything that he needs for level 60 for just
This
free,
place
right?
still hasn't
You
been
may never
corroded.
play him, but at the very
The
least, he's like a
fragmentum
mule for your like
monsters have
more
already
inventory
made it
space
here.
or something. What a lot of people will do with alts is like they'll put them in like a certain city for like transporting goods easier, so you can like log into like
Time.
because the map is huge. There's fast travel now, but it's expensive.
Reach the end
So you
of the
might
story
like
in your own way.
log in on one character on the west side of the map, and then have other characters scattered across the world for easier maintenance of like your banks and stuff like that. But again, it's all quality of life. You don't ever need that stuff. It's just like people being try hard, sweaty players.
Yeah. What's up, Alex? Anyway,
how's it going?
Yo,
just catching up to where I was in fucking Star Rail, man. Pretty upset about it, to be honest. I wasn't upset at first. Now I'm like,
Hold on, I think I used the wrong email.
I mean, I hope you have your stuff, cause I hate not having mine.
are you guys just moving on from Genshin or?
No. I like Star Rail better, but I mean, I'm not trying to move on from Genshin. I just, like I said, this one doesn't even have a multiplayer aspect. I just really like the character designs, and there's a certain character they made available, and I wanted to pull her.
I don't know if you can pull her again.
Yeah, she's a permanent.
Oh, she's still there?
Yeah. She's not an event pull. She's a
Okay.
she's like one of those that you can get. You can actually, I believe you can unlock
Pretty good
her.
crowd today.
Damn, I fucked that up. Good.
Keep up.
Oh man, that reminds me. Okay, yeah, I did just use the wrong email.
Cool. Let me know.
gotta-
Let me know your UID in just a second.
You should pick like, I mean, I'm sure you.
I can't search by
make sure you
username.
pick like the right server and the right email and all that. Like I went into my separate emails and just searched Star Rail until one of them was a message from Pom Pom, and I was like, oh, okay, that's the one. I used the wrong one.
Yeah, I think mine was just a. I think mine was just like maybe when I was fucking around with like. You remember how I was trying to. Link my accounts all together. I think something just
Yeah.
happened. I think some wires just got crossed there.
Just have to find it. Because you talking about Kafka reminded me of it. Let me see.
Time for the main event.
Let's rock. Tough luck running into me.
I've no interest in conflict.
Time for the main
The
event.
truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Turn it up. My turn.
This is our chance.
Gotta try hard sometimes. Watch this awesome move. Keep up.
Let's make it.
Fighting is meaningless.
Oh man, I did find a really TikTok that
They're made to be
one.
broken.
Have you seen the one that's like Jack 1 in Japanese?
It's Jack 1 and Jack. What does that mean?
Like Jack and Daxter.
Oh,
Time
no,
for
no,
the
no.
main event.
Oh, wait, is it the guy that's like bawling his eyes out? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he takes it like a deep breath and
Ready to
then
lose
just...
yourself?
Ah, yeah, I did see that. That was pretty good.
I don't
You
think
can
that was
fight it
me and Lester played this
or rock with it.
on here. I completely forgot about him.
Forgot about who?
Turn it up.
Jack and Dexter games.
Oh, yeah,
Me
those
and
games
Lester-
were amazing.
I
This is our
think we
chance.
probably spent, I don't know, 300 hours in Jack 3 somehow.
Yeah, Jack.
That game-
Jack.
I never played Jack 3, I played 1 and 2.
Yeah, 2 and 3 were amazing.
No interest in
3 was, I never played 1 or 2. I played 2 later on.
1
Nobody likes-
it's the first one.
Yeah.
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 Jack 3,
Time
like,
for the
even
main
if I didn't
event.
know, like, the characters or anything, just the gameplay was so fun. Like, I don't remember what the gameplay was, honestly. I don't remember the style of the
This is
game.
our
I kind of
chance.
feel like it was like,
You ever play Ratchet and Clank? It was like Ratchet and Clank with more action, I think.
yeah, like, I
Ready to
remember,
lose
like,
yourself?
the city with, like, the laser weapons you get, and you'd, like, test them in a little, like, testing area first, and the racing was really cool in the desert area.
Yeah.
But I don't really have much memory about like playing it. I just know we spent a ton of time playing it and like trying to complete everything on that game. It was pretty hard, honestly,
Yeah.
as little kids. Are these key line or ley line openings worth doing when I see them?
Yeah, they're.
I mean,
I'm-
they're like 200 adventure XP and you get some pretty alright items.
yeah,
that
you get
can
like
use.
XP items or money items.
I've been doing them, but I was like, I'm not sure if I should be saving the currency like to like close them whatever at the end. But I'll just do them when I see
It's
them.
getting late. Where to now?
All are at staff
You know,
discount price.
I do gotta say, with mobile games, taking a break is sometimes for the best because they're like, hey buddy, it's been a while, so since
Here's
you're coming back, we're
$10,000
gonna
for
give you a
currency."
shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
I do that
log
a
in
lot.
daily for a week and you'll get all kinds of stuff since you came back.
I do that on Black Desert all the time to get onto the returning player servers again.
I
Fuck
play
XP
Black
boost and
Desert,
stuff.
but I can just never stick with it.
I play it like usually like 2 or 3 months at a time, and then I'll take a break. It's really like based around the seasons, I guess. I'll do the season, and then I'll like get addicted to hunting for a while, and then I'll take a 2-month break and come back later. It's one of those games that like I was telling him earlier. It took me like 10 times to even like actually stick with it, like for once. It was so hard to get into for a while. Just because it's so complex for so long. But now that I've like learned the game, it's definitely one of my favorites to play.
Activate or level up characters' traces 4 times. What's a trace? Oh, how do you level
I
those?
unlocked co-op. Cool.
Oh, look at that. Look at you. I have to send my character once? Jesus.
How is your willingness to continue playing after returning to Honkai Star Rail this time?
Me?
No, that's just what they were
Oh,
like, yeah, since you came back, fill out this survey.
I was about to say, I literally only quit because you guys did. Even though it wasn't multiplayer, but still, I still wanted my friends to play with me.
I mean, you get our units.
Do we? Is that the multiplayer?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Hmm.
I think that's the fun way to do multiplayer, where you can just like borrow your friends'
Yeah.
characters or whatever.
That's how Outer Planes is, the one that I
It's
said
kind
I
of,
do
it's
spend
not
money
really direct, but but it's kind of like
Before I get any further in this, I actually
Dragon's
do want
Dogma.
to see if I can. See if I can do that. See if I can check my emails for any dun, 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 dun. Oh shoot, cancel. So what did you say you searched? Honkai?
Yeah, Honkai Star Rail, or just search Palm, because the messages are sent by Palm. And if you don't have any emails from them, then that was probably the wrong one.
Don't tell me what year this was sent. Yeah, it should have been this email. I don't know what server I was on though. Make sure though.
this what did they call it? Oh my god, Idola. The new album so far is really good.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the new album.
I didn't know they released it. It has not one time popped up in my.
Yeah, and Spotify's awful sometimes. They don't notify me of stuff either.
Sometimes they're great about it to the point where I don't even know that stuff is coming out, and they surprise me with it.
Yeah.
But recently it's been really bad for me.
Yeah, I didn't know I knew the Hell of the Sun album was coming out because the singles had been advertised on my page, but when it actually came out, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's really frustrating because like, I mean, like I've found a lot of new music through Spotify, but I feel like now it's just like my Discover Weekly. I kind of hate it because most times it's just like the few songs from a band I discovered a year ago, the few songs I didn't like from them, they consider that Discover Weekly for me now. It's just, if I don't like a song when I find it, it's gonna be part of my Discover Weekly next week.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's annoying.
Because like I already know the song, I just haven't liked it manually. I might have played it 100 times on my on my playlist or my like actual playtimes or whatever, and they know I've listened to it 100 times. But they're like, yeah, but you haven't liked it, so we don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, I still think Spotify is like the best way to listen to music.
I just like to have all my
especially,
music in one place.
Yeah, I don't like YouTube music personally, and I mean, is iTunes even a thing anymore? I don't know, probably, but I don't know what else to use other than Spotify, honestly.
I used to use dude, I just used to love having my shit downloaded.
I used iTunes a long time ago when I had like the iPod Classic. They had like a really good one that I had for so long. It was like a 200 gigabyte iPod Classic. It was like $100, and it was kind of like, it was like the cheaper version of it, I guess. But it was just like, all it did was the music. It was nothing fancy, but it had a huge storage. Like it was like 200 gigabytes in like middle school, which is crazy back then. That much space, and I used iTunes for that because you had to, and I had like thousands of songs. And then it's like me, Wesley, Will, and Ben all had an iPod Classic. The one I'm talking, I can't remember what they're called now, but it was something like that. And within the same week, all 4 of our iPod Classics hard drives failed. Within the same week, all 4 of them. And we were just like, there's no way we're gonna buy any more of these ever again. That was my last experience with Apple. Honestly, it was just so disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Apple, but I mean, there's a couple things I've learned in the last year that they do better. It's just sad. The battery life's impressive though. Joanna fucking will like watch like TikTok videos for like 15 minutes on 1%. I'm like, how? If my Galaxy is on like 5%, if I do anything, it dies.
I think the reason for that a lot of times is Apple not representing their battery life properly. Like, my phone is really consistent with the percentages. Like, if it's 5%, I know how long it's gonna last. You know, like, whereas I